Hey guys, Luke here from Fluke's Kitesurfing. Welcome to this video. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing this package that I've just received from Board Riding Maui. It contains two of the new generation or the second generation Parawings in the Ka'a model, as well as, of course, the bars that are attached to them and some other accessories. So really excited to check this out. I've been waiting to try a Parawing. I have never Parawinged before, and I'm really excited to see what it's all about and see how it feels. So in this video, we're going to unbox it. We'll go through everything that's in this package, and then we'll take it down to the beach and we'll fly it and get some first impressions, and then I'll let you know my final thoughts at the end of the video. So let's unbox this thing and see what's inside. So the first impression is just how small the box is, considering we have two Parawings and some accessories. Okay, nice. So we've got the belt and the harness hook. Let's open up one of these bags and get a first impression on the Parawing. It's a great little package, so small and light. Like, that is definitely something that I've noticed immediately. Comes with another little backpack. And here it is. So, super lightweight. Like, that just feels incredibly light. This is a little carbon bar, and let's see if it's all rigged. I think that, if we had a little bit of wind, I think that is ready to fly, just like that. And everything feels like really high quality. I'm really happy with it. You can see a little bit of carbon there in the bar. Nice soft handle. That's a good comfortable grip there. And then we've got the color-coded front lines that are run into the leading edge for tangles, and relaunching it, you can tell which one runs to the leading edge. And then up with the canopy, good stitching, reinforcements. You can tell they've done a lot of attention to detail, all these little reinforcements around here and these ribs or fins. So first impression, really cool. I'm excited to try it for sure and get it up in the sky. Like I said at the start, it's so light. So for traveling, packing it away in these tiny little bags, this is really a whole new thing compared to pumping up our big kitesurfing kites. So that is going to be fun. So this is exactly the same model, but in the 4.2 meter size. Let's open it up, have another look. What I liked about that is we've got a couple of different bags. You can sort of roll it up really tight for travel and pack it down, or you can just put it in this sort of bigger bag, really easy just to go up and down to the beach in. I got the 4.2 as well, to just a bit more wind range for the Parawing mid-length floorboard that I'm building at the moment. So between the 2.9 meter and the 4.2, I should be able to sort of cover most of the wind range that I want in this area. So let's take a look at what else came in the package, and then get down the beach and actually put it in the air and fly it. It'll be my first time flying one ever, so really excited to actually just give it a go. So I've also been sent the belt, and this looks great. As well as that, we've got the little harness hook and the harness line. And so this is going to be, I think this is going to work really well for me coming from kite foiling, just to be able to sort of connect the harness and lean into it a little more and steer. So I'm looking forward to trying that as well. A few people have told me that that's a really good thing to have, is connecting to the harness line. And then we've got the minimal harness line as well. So curious to see the difference between these two and how they're going to work. So here we have the belt. This is the slim version, the new version for this year. And it works by, if I clip it up, having an expanding pocket in the back, so you can still stow the Parawing. It's a little bit of Velcro in there. As you pull it, it expands that pocket into a big enough storage for the Parawing. You can see the construction is kind of like a semi-rigid plastic strapped with the webbing. The webbing goes all the way around, but this just adds that little bit of stiffness. It's not stiff, still very flexible, but it has that slight stiffness in it. And then that Velcro just sort of attaches all of that back together. I've also hooked on the gated harness hook. So this has a little bungee here that will clip up and onto that hook. And when I initially saw this, I thought it was for keeping the harness line on while riding, sort of like a donkey stick might be on your kite harness. However, it's not for that. It's actually for having on while you're not using the harness line, so that when you stow the Parawing, none of the lines get caught in that hook for stowing it. So you actually ride like this with the harness on, with the harness line hooked on when you're riding with the harness, and then when you're not riding with the harness and you want to stow away the Parawing, you actually just clip that up like that, and that keeps any of those lines from getting tangled. So one of the major upgrades for the new generation is this new bar design. It's got this yoke in the center that controls the middle lines of the Parawing with this V, so that it's said to deliver better power distribution as you're sheeting in and sheeting out. Of course, I can't really speak to that yet because I haven't ridden it on the water, but this is what it looks like, and I'm really excited to see how that sort of moves the control as we start to sheet in and sheet out. You can see it starts to pull differently on those center lines. So on the bar itself, the harness line attaches using a clove hitch. So a clove hitch, if you're not familiar, works by crossing the line over itself, like so, and then poking through the center of that cross, like that, and then pulling that, a little bit funny there, but pulling that tight, like that. You can see the cross there with the ball caught behind it. You actually don't even need the stopper ball for a clove hitch. That will pull pretty tight anyway, and what that allows you to do is adjust the length that you want your harness line to be. So you could go like that and make that line shorter, or you can make it the full length. So that clove hitch on both ends also allows you then to move this closer, and that's basically like setting a bit of a trim, because as this moves closer to the front lines, it's going to reduce that resting angle of attack while you've got it on harness, and as you move this closer to the rear lines, that's going to increase that resting angle of attack while it's attached to your harness. So a really simple little solution there, but pretty practical. So curious to see how this is going, how this feels. Okay, there's the leading edge. Whoa, whoa, holy moly, there is some load in that. Wow, you can really feel that. And tilting it back, like there's a lot of, wow. So you can really feel the difference, switch hands, you can really feel the difference between tilting that bar back and forcing that kite downwind, or sheeting out and really taking that, changing that angle of attack. There's a lot less there when I actually tilt my wrist forward or hold further on the front of the bar, like splitting my finger there. I can feel just how much lighter that is compared to tilting that back and really forcing the wind into the canopy there. Well, that's fun. And then just twisting my wrist, just turning it. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we attached the hook to the harness here. We attached the rigid line onto the bar. It really doesn't launch, but you can see just here. And so now we can try that out as well. I'm interested just to see how it feels, just the difference between the sizes here. that actually does feel a lot more manageable for this wind. Still lots of pull in it though, so it feels nice. Subtle movement from side to side, but overall feels really smooth and similar to flying a small kite. Like when I'm kiting, it's not that, doesn't feel that different to the way that it delivers power. Okay, so let's see how the harness line works. So I'm just hooking in the hook there. Well, that takes a lot of the load. But that actually, like, I can almost let go of it. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Holy shit. Kind of sending. Should probably learn how to foil first, I'm guessing. That's a little better, isn't it? It's calm.
So that was a lot of fun down there on the beach, just flying it. The initial reaction was that's a lot more power than I was expecting, so that was quite a surprise. I thought I'd give you a couple of final points before I end this video. I think that, you know, I'm really excited to just get out there on the water and test them on the water. That's going to be the ultimate test, of course, taking it out there and riding. It's something that I haven't done yet and something that I'm really looking forward to giving a go. This has even got me more excited about it, just feeling that sort of power in that wing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Another thing I really noticed when we were down there flying them was the difference in power between the 4.2 and the 2.9. There was a noticeable amount of difference, so I think that's going to work really well for my wind range. The other thing I noticed was just how close they are. So the lines are so short that you're flying it right in front of you, and so I think that is going to make it quite easy for pulling it in and stowing, even though I hadn't really mastered that down on the beach. But the other thing is that with all the flying and unpacking and packing that we've done over the last couple of hours, it hasn't tangled. So even when a line might go over the other lines, it's so obvious that that's happening. It's very easy to correct it. So I haven't found like this tangling problem and being like, oh, this is so frustrating. I haven't had that at all yet. That might very well happen, of course, when I accidentally put the Parawing down while riding and go smash the foil into it and go head over heels. Who knows what's going to happen. But so far, that's been really simple to untangle or make sure everything is in alignment before launching it. The reason that I chose the car model is because I was chatting with the guys at BRM about the way I want to use it. So the way I want to use it is to go tack out into the middle of the straight here and get on some of those swells. We have wind swell and sort of ground swell, and ride those swells and then actually tack back to where I left off or where I took off at the beach. I don't, while downwinding appeals to me, what I really want to do is just carve some swells and go back to where I left the car and not deal with the logistics of dropping cars off or doing these big stretches. And so that's sort of the way I really want to use the Parawing, is to get out there, ride a few swells, tack back, do it again. And so I hit those questions up at BRM there, and Greg ultimately said that he really likes the car for that. He says it actually performs quite well upwind, and so for me and the way I want to use it, then that's going to be the model. So I'm really excited to test this model and then even ultimately other models as well and see how they compare in the future. I'm also really happy with the build quality of it, how it all looks and it's assembled, the way it's packaged. I like that it comes with the duffel bag and it's got the small bag. There's two types of people there, you know, someone will just stuff it in the duffel bag, other people fold it all neatly and put it away in the small bags. I like that they've thought about all of those things, and so to me it looks like a really refined product, something that they've really put a lot of care and effort into. So awesome guys, thanks so much for watching this. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're thinking about getting this, you saw, you know, sort of what it looks like, how it feels, and like I said, the next videos are going to be all about getting it on the water and see if I can ride the thing. So really exciting. Thanks again for watching. Luke here, and I'll see you in the next video.